Don't worry guys, this isn't going to be one of those really awkward videos where I cry online. I don't know, I just find those things really like weird. 90% of the time on YouTube it just looks odd to watch someone crying, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to talk about a tough one today. We're going to talk about bullying. Let's dig into it. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. You know what to do. Help your girl out. Subscribe below. If you're back, welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you guys around in the circle. Today we're going to talk about something that's a little bit uncomfortable / a little bit more on the emotional, psychological side, and that's about bullying. So when I was younger, I was bullied. It was a really traumatic and painful experience that I had to go through, but after kind of like thinking about it, seeking help and all that kind of stuff, there's a couple of lessons, and specifically 3 lessons that I want to share with you guys that may have either gone through a similar thing as I have or are currently going through something. As much as social media is such a brilliant conduit for, meeting new people, it can be a place where, trolls or people that are just not that nice tend to be. So in terms of like my experience and the lessons that I learned, the first thing that I learned is you can't base your life on the opinions of other people, at least solely. And for me, when I was younger, I got bullied for a number of things, right? So when I was younger, I tended to be on the overweight side, and I just wasn't the cutest, right? I wasn't what's popping. I didn't have the glowy skin or the nice hair or whatever. I had, listen, if you hadn't seen my glasses back then, oh Lord. If I can find a photo, I'll insert it here. If I can't, then tough luck. But yeah, I wasn't the cutest, and it was an awkward time where, guys were starting to like girls and all that kind of stuff. And I just found myself in a situation where there were, a number of people that would say really mean comments about me. And it really did hurt my self-esteem. And for a long time, I tried so hard to fit into the mold of what I'm supposed to look like based on the opinions that people had of me. Whether it be things like, editing my photos so that you can't really see that, like the rest of my body, and see that I'm a little bit chunkier, or, editing my body so that I appeared a little bit lighter because being light skinned was in there, like super, like almost presenting as like exotic / mixed race, that kind of stuff. You cannot live your life basing everything or basing the way that you engage with people on their opinions. Opinions come and go. Opinions change like the rising tide. And to base your life and the way that you see yourself on the perspective of people that genuinely don't care about you is a waste of your time. The second lesson that I learned as a result of being bullied and teased throughout my life is you need to find a really healthy way to express yourself. And for me, it was really difficult because the ways that I used to express myself were extremely destructive. I'm talking eating disorder destructive. I'm talking near suicidal destructive. I'm talking, journal entries that journal entries that just consolidated that really bad time that I was experiencing and not really feeling like I could engage with anybody. It was really tough, and like I think it's so important to ensure that you have healthy ways to express yourself, or creative ways to like take your mind off of what you're experiencing. One thing that I still do today that you guys already know that I'm such a big fan of is I'm such a writer. I love writing to bits, and I started really in earnest then in my early teens, like writing. I used to write storybooks for days just to create different scenarios in my head and make myself feel happy and just express myself creatively. So find something that, is a healthy way to express yourself. Giving you guys a personal anecdote, I remember there was this one time that I really liked this guy. Like, he was, back in the day, there were those certain like secondary school cuties, the ones that are like,
kind of cute or whatever.
And I expressed this to the person who I thought was my friend at the time. She was one of the only people that I spoke to as well. And she said to me, A, he doesn't like you because he thinks you're fat. And then she said, you're not pretty, so why would he like you anyway? And I had already been getting those kind of comments from, you know, the repeated group of people that would be saying, you know, comments about me. But to get it from the one person that I genuinely believed was my friend was so, so painful. And I just remember going home and crying. I was crying because it was just so, so hurtful. And I just think even in this generation today, right, like we just say things without thinking about how it's going to impact someone else or how it's going to make them feel. And this was just a perfect example of that. And I'm no longer friends with the person. I'm cordial, but I'm no longer friends with the person. But I used to get comments like that back to back. Like, it was so sad. Like, I didn't really ever pursue guys that I thought were attractive for a really long time because I just thought, why would they think that I'm worth engaging with since I'm both fat and ugly? And the thing is, I used to get it from family, friends as well. I don't know if any of you guys that are, listen, my African people out there, you know how it is. If you lose weight, you don't win. If you gain weight, you don't win. And yeah, I was just in a period of my life where I was just rapidly gaining weight, and people always had something to say. If you go to a party, wow, you gotten a bit chunky there, or like you've gained a few pounds. And I'm just like, I don't need this right now because I'm already getting it. I'm already getting it at school and other social places. And then the last lesson I learned from this experience is the fact that you never really know what somebody is going through themselves. So there is an amount of grace that you can afford to people. Like, for example, and this is not to excuse anything that an abuser does or a bully does, but it really just holistically made me aware of the fact that people are going through their own struggles. So I remember when I was young, a little bit younger, in like my early teens, there was this girl in particular who used to, like, when I say torment me mercilessly, I used to think that she was actually a devil, a actual devil. And she used to say the most horrible things. She would tell people to like not speak to me, the whole you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, all of that. I got literally everything from her specifically. A little bit later on, I went on her Facebook profile and I found out that her father had passed away. And it was a really complicated situation because there was just this whole thing of like her father abusing her mother, and not to air her dirty laundry, but the fact that she had been going through something like that, obviously it had not been channeled in a great way, but understanding a little bit that abuse was actually something that had been normalized in her specific situation to the point where she was now lashing out at somebody like me. I got it. Do you know what I mean? I never excused it, but I got it. Those are the 3 lessons that I learned from, you know, my bullying experience. It was a really tough time, and now is a tough time too, in that I think that we're just normalizing speaking to people anyhow just because we're on social media. Even now, sometimes I get the offhand comment from somebody saying something about like, you know, my viewpoints or something, the way that I come across online, and I just want you guys to remember that you never know what anyone else is going through. You can't judge a person by what they've posted online. And you need to think twice before you air something, you know, an opinion that you think is impartial, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. And I'm such a believer in radical love and kindness. I'm also a Christian, so love is the central tenet of the gospel. Display radical love and radical kindness in a time when it seems as though everybody is bitter and mean and horrible. And I just make it, like, I genuinely make it my priority to be kind to people, because it's the kind of kindness I wish was doled out to me in the times when I really, really need it. And God knows I've actually got the most beautiful friends now. I am so, so happy with the people that are around me right now. I'm so blessed, honestly. And it was even tough to get there, because the thing about bullying and allowing people's opinions to dictate how you see yourself is you start to not see yourself as worthy of those things anyways. You start to see yourself as not worthy of, you know, those friendships. And for a long time, I didn't think I was worthy of, you know, having a good relationship or a good friendship or just good things in life. And thankfully, just through a journey of introspection and a journey of really sitting with myself, right, and reflecting and understanding where those feelings came from, I really just came into understanding that I do deserve these things, that I am a human being, that I do deserve love, that I do deserve kindness, and that I'm beautiful. Like, I'm actually absolutely beautiful. I'm popping. I think highly of myself because of I've seen the bottom. I've seen the other side where, you know, you don't really feel that way. Literally the opposite of that. So yeah, think twice about the way that you engage with people, and please let your automatic response and engagement with people be facilitated by love. I would love to hear you guys' opinions and thoughts, and as always, sending so much love. I'm gonna leave some links below just in case y'all wanna, you know, check it out and support your girl as always. But yeah, lots and lots of love.